This is Carl Eller, and you're watching the One Bar and Lepagas show.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus. In this episode, we're gonna play Ziggy and Mark Wilf here. We're gonna predict who the Vikings coach, GM, and coach will be for the 2022 season and beyond. And the whole reason for this is we want to see your guys' comments. We want to see who you predict will be it. We're just pulling this directly out of our ass. And let's be clear, Lupagus, maybe make sure we're on the same page. This isn't who we want necessarily. We might want them, but this is just our prediction.
This is a prediction, and we're gonna not just predict it. We're gonna hire them ourselves. This is gonna be a hiring. It's gonna be official.
Do it live right on here. So yes, make sure in the comments. The whole point of this, let's get some chatter going in the comments.
We're gonna predict who we think this is gonna be, and before we do that, be sure if you have not done it yet, sign up for our Patreon, $2 a month. You get the mystery vid, enter for a drawing for some swag, and contact One Bar. You can come on his quiz show for a chance to win more One Bar and Lupagus gear.
Yes, and you get to support the show. What better than that? Subscribe. Let's get to 5,000 subs before they hire a GM. Let's do this.
Hell yeah.
So let's start. I mean, we got to start with the GM. We can't hire a coach unless we have a GM. So I'm going to give you the floor. We'll each do our GM, and then we'll do our coach.
Yeah, the GM. I think the Vikings, they kind of always like to go for the hot name, the hot guy, and this is the guy.
Like physically hot, or just?
He's not bad. He's not bad, but I am saying he. So I'm ruling out the. Mrs. Reish, or her name is. I'm gonna go with the Browns guy, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. You know, again, he's looked at so highly regarded. He helped rebuild these Browns. You know, who would ever think that the Browns are going to be a contender now for the next 5 years because of, you know, some of the decisions he made with that franchise. You talked about him being this phenom, somebody that down the road teams are going to talk about, hey, we should have got this guy when we had a shot. So I think the Vikings like that kind of guy, find that attractive. I think that's the route they're going to go with, the hot young name. So I'm going to say Adolfo-Mensah is the guy they go with.
Yeah, there's no way that, I mean, I guess I'd shit my pants if he doesn't get hired by one of these teams that need a GM. Can you imagine though? 32-year-old. I mean, we see young coaches, but a 32-year-old GM, holy shit.
Be awesome. Hey, they're checking everything out. Checking out young men, women, everything.
No, I love it. I applaud your GM hire. I would be all for that. Going in big, putting in all their chips.
Hell yeah.
I like it. I'm going with a very old man compared to yours. I think he's 42, 43. And I'm going John Spytek, Tampa Bay Bucks. The dude, I mean, he's been in the NFL 18 years, 6 with Tampa. We already went over it on a video, so I'm not going to give you his whole resume, but he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. He had one with the Broncos, one with the Bucks. Had a lot to do with some of these guys that they brought in at Tampa, and a lot to do with a lot of those draft picks as well. So Spytek, I mean, he's a winner. He's a winner. Where he goes, they win. I love it. And we're gonna get a number 3 Super Bowl ring on his hand.
I hope so. God, I hope so. Yeah, Spytek could be fantastic. You look at, you know, the Bucks aren't just Tom Brady. There's young talent on offense, and then the defense is it's a fast attacking defense, can turn the ball over. So he helped build that, and he built this team into a contender, and I love that. I'd be absolutely 100% on board with Spytek.
Yeah, and he also played a linebacker for the Michigan Wolverines in the late 90s. He was on Tom Brady's team, actually.
I think he spied the quarterback because his name
I don't know.
I
didn't know he played, so I don't know if he played much, but
he played.
Maybe.
He was really good doing things in the shower, his parts.
All right. I hope he scrubbed those things real nice. Let us know in the comments what you think about those GM hires. Let's get to the coaches. Who is your coach, Lupagus? Well, don't mess up.
Let's let you go first.
That's a lot of pressure. Well, again, this isn't who I might necessarily want. I'm going with a prediction here. And we bring John Spytek over. And you're damn right. Spytek's first order of business is to bring over his former offensive coordinator. That's Byron Leftwich. We're getting the 2 Tampa Bay Buck boys. I mean, him and Kellen Moore are like the guys that I think are the high risk, high reward, just like your GM. But Byron Leftwich, I mean, he's handpicked by Arians. Bruce Arians could have picked probably a lot of offensive coordinators to come to Tampa with him. He said, screw it. I need Byron Leftwich. It's easy to say that he's got Tom Brady, but he's got 44? He's 44-year-old Tom Brady. This isn't 2004. This is an old man Tom Brady. Tom Brady had his most yards he's ever had in his career this year, second in touchdowns, lit shit up. And again, I like Doug Peterson. I've said I've loved Doug Peterson. Kellen Moore, same thing. I love former players. I think they just connect better with the locker room. And that goes a long way. Leftwich, everybody loves Leftwich.
Well, I saw a quote that Leftwich made that I thought was pretty damn awesome. He said, "You can't call the plays unless you know the guy." So, that just shows that he's willing to adapt to whoever his quarterback is, figure out what his strengths are, and call the plays according to that quarterback's strength, not just force your system on somebody. So I love that quote from Leftwich. I'd be 100% on board. I would be with Leftwich as a head coach. But I don't know. I just can't see Jacksonville not doing everything they can to bring him in.
That's fine, but he could say no. He could say no. These guys are horrible.
He could say no. He could say no. All right. I was going back and forth with this one. I was thinking Peterson. I was thinking McDaniels. I do think McDaniels, if they get eliminated this weekend, I think that name will start getting some more steam. But the Vikings, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they've ever hired a retread coach, correct?
Retread coach?
A coach who's coached before, head coach. Unless Jerry Burns has some experience, I don't think so. I think everybody they've ever hired.
Bud Grant was here twice, so I consider that a retread.
Well, okay. I mean, but it's Bud Grant. So I don't know if they're going to break that streak. So I don't know if Doug Peterson's going to come here. I don't know if McDaniel's going to be here, but I do think I said the same reason I used for my GM. I'm going to use it for my head coach. They look at this NFL is a copycat league. Everybody wants to do whatever the team that's winning is doing. I think they're going to go for that hot young name. And I think that hot young name is going to be Kellen Moore. He's already expressed that he wants to come here and very interested in the Vikings job. He had plenty of weapons to work with in Dallas. He's going to have plenty of weapons to work with in Minnesota. He's got his running back, Delvin Cook. He's got his offensive weapons in Thielen, Jefferson, Irv Smith Jr. The line isn't as great as it was in Dallas, but he's got plenty to work with here. I think Kellen Moore here, not calling the. I don't want him to be like the offensive coordinator / head coach. Get your offense here, get someone who can call it, and then be a head coach. Coach both sides of the ball and special teams as well. Know what you're doing. And I think, yes, high risk, high reward, but I think he could pull it off. I love Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I would be all on board with your combo. I don't think anybody can really argue with that. One thing that keeps popping in my mind is when like Doug Peterson has been a big name. What would Doug Peterson do with like a 32-year-old GM? I mean,
yeah,
young buck just telling him what to do and making all the moves. I mean, maybe it would be just fine, but I just think that like Doug Peterson seems like a guy that's kind of stuck in his ways, and that might be I mean, all these GMs they're bringing in are young.
No, that's a great point. You think you want someone older, like an Ireland or someone like that. Dimitrov was going to work with Peterson. Yeah, and I don't know how much control Peterson had over personnel, if he split any kind of decisions with Howie Roseman over there in Philly. But again, you see that video of Zimmer and Spielman laughing at the Eagles. Peterson's at that table when that pick is made for Rieger.
And he was so happy about that pick. And I went with the Spytech Leftwich Tampa Bay Bucks connection, but for all we know, they might hate each other. But I'm going all in on that.
You never know. And if I'm right, you owe me a case of beer.
If I'm right, you owe me 2 cases of beer. Mine's more risky.
Is it? I don't think so.
No, but I just want 2 cases of beer. So again, main thing, let us know your predictions down in the comments. Hopefully we see a GM here rolling in next, 6 days.
Either that or let's at least get a narrowed down list. Let's get like a final 3, final 5, something here. We got so many names in the ring right now. It's hard to decide or figure out who's going to win or who's the front runner even. So we're waiting for that to happen. Remember this, cockroaches can survive without a head.